Hi, Julia.
I'm Mallory.
This is the Alphabitches. This is our very first podcast ever, which is super insanely cool. We aren't alphas. That's really true. We aren't these alpha people. We are not bitches, but kinda.
Debatable.
Very debatable. But we are bitches for the alphabet. We really like the alphabet, and so this podcast is an homage to the alphabet. We're starting on the letter A, so that's what this podcast is about. And we have just different segments. We'll talk about things pertaining to that letter, all in good fun, hopefully.
Yeah, so we're literally just going to go down the alphabet. So, like, podcast 1, this podcast, A, next podcast, B.
Yeah,
so you know
it's very easy. It's easy to follow in the sense that you know what letter it's going to be. And that's about it. But before we get started, unless you know us, which is, I mean, thanks for
supporting.
It's weird, but thank you. But if you don't know us, we're from Las Vegas, Nevada, although only one of us was born there.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Julia. It's the truth. And then we both went to ASU together after high school, and we were both in film, and now I live in Los Angeles and I'm in entertainment. The need to knows is I like transportation. I like trains a lot and boats. I really like the weather. I really like talking about TV.
These are not all need to knows. You only needed one need to know.
I needed a couple. And I'm Jewish. I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, a Jew and a Catholic make a podcast, but that has nothing to do with anything that we would talk about.
Jew and a Catholic make a podcast. Sounds like the beginning to a terrible joke, which this is. This is the beginning to a terrible joke.
Yeah, it is. That's me. That's the need to know for Mallory.
Yeah. I should probably say that me and Mallory have been frenemies for a very long time.
It's true. I don't like you.
Thanks. Thank you. You're supporting my self-esteem. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah, so I still live in Arizona. I write in my free time. That's what I do. I'm a writer. And I guess the need to know for me is that I really love history, but Mallory won't let me talk about it on this podcast. That's a rule
That's true.
It's a ground rule she laid down, like, instantaneously. So.
It is. No justification.
Just no history. Okay.
Maybe later, but for now, no. For now, we'll talk about what wine we're drinking. Julia, what wine are you drinking? Or are you drinking it?
Okay. Yeah, a bug fell in my wine, and it was swimming around, but it's, we'll see if I dare to drink it after that, because I fished it out. It wasn't it was like a gnat, just so people aren't imagining, fine. Like, cockroaches swimming around in my wine.
You have a bucket of wine and there's like some cockroaches floating around. Oh god, that's such a like horrific cursed image in my head now.
You're welcome. But it is Menage a Trois Decadence, which is their cab.
Wow.
It was on sale at Target.
Ooh, we love that.
We'll see how desperate I get throughout this podcast to take a sip, because I don't feel
You'll get desperate.
Yeah, I will.
I'm drinking Quail Oak. For those of you that know your cheap wine, this is like pretty much the cheapest that it gets. I'm kind of getting sick of it because this is all I've been drinking, and it's good for a cab that's cheap, but it's not good, just casually every other night of the week. So, but I'm drinking it. I'm still drinking it, and that's my wine of the week.
Ooh, I like that. Can we name the segment Wine of the Week?
Wine of the Week? I know. I think that was pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was a stroke of genius.
It was. I mean, I've had some of those.
No,
but not a
never.
Lot. Okay, well, moving into another stroke of genius of mine. So the first kind of segment that we have is our hot top picks, and these are based off of more of current events that we have. I'll start off first, because that's how we'n do it. That's how we'll do it. I really didn't want to find an article. I wanted to because this is our first podcast ever. That's going to be heard, and I wanted people to understand who we are. And I thought no better way than to talk about my famous rant about American consumerism Walmart versus Target.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna say a couple key points, nothing too much, a couple key points, and then we can move on.
People have clicked off
One.
this podcast.
One,
People are
Walmart is better than Target. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Walmart has everything that you need. If you want spray paint, if you need to fix a toilet, if you need fabric, if you need gardening equipment, you need a shovel late at night at 2 a.m., Walmart has it. You know who isn't open at 2 a.m. and has a shovel? Target. I think Target is really good for their clothes and their home design, and they found that niche of like really cool products. But Walmart's generally cheaper and more convenient, and they have more of what you want and more variety. And I think it's more easily accessible for everyone. Plus, they are like the #1 clothing retailer in the US and also #1 for groceries too. It's everyone's go-to. People have a thing with Walmart. But I want to say, Walmart's fun. Walmart's where you go and you people watch. You don't people watch at Target. Americans consumerism. There's always this fight between Target and Walmart. And Walmart's the better choice.
You know, I thought of a great comparison to make between these two.
What is that?
Are you ready?
I like cross my arms. I'm like ready to defend my Walmart.
Okay. Walmart is like your hand. It'll get the job done. It has what you need, but you don't. But no extra bells and whistles.
I know where that's going. Oh my god, Julia.
But Target is like a rabbit. You don't really need it.
A rabbit? Oh, I thought we were making like I thought it was like a hand job versus like a sex thing.
A rabbit is
right?
a vibrator, Mallory.
Oh! I thought we were doing just natural, like the hand versus like actual sex.
No, your hand
also,
will get the job done.
I'm sorry that when you say rabbit, I think of like a rabbit and not the vibrator.
Anyway, your hand will get the job done.
Saying.
It has everything you need. You don't need more than that, but it's not very fancy. On the other hand, the rabbit, you don't need it. It's probably overpriced. It is overpriced, but you know, it's worth it in some ways. In other ways, it's not worth it. There you go. That's my comparison for you.
I get what you're saying, but Walmart isn't just a like get the job done. Like it's your one-stop shop, you know?
Yeah, your hand. You don't need anything else.
Okay, I guess. I just want those who are listening to understand where I'm coming from, which is Walmart's great. Target doesn't have everything you need. It's fun.
You're just furthering my comparison. You just solidified it.
No, I agree with you now. I just needed...
After you said that, after you realized that you were agreeing with me.
Yeah. So there it is. A stands for American consumerism. Julia, what is your hot top pick?
Yeah. My A is Australia picked its bird of the year.
Yes. Needed.
Australia, I think they did like a poll on Twitter or something like that, which I find hilarious that they like had people vote on their bird of the year. But
that's always so bad too, because you've seen like Twitter picks school names. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I've seen the ones where they pick like boats.
Yeah, where like they'll ask Twitter to pick the name of a school, and it's always like Schooly McSchool or something.
Spody McBoatface. My favorite Twitter poll though resulted in Alexander Hamilton. So
what was that even about? Was it about
it was about naming a Zeus camel, and they named it Alexander Hamilton.
That's really important.
That is important. Anyway, I should probably say what the bird of the year is.
Yeah, please do.
The bird of the year for Australia in 2019 is the black-throated finch. I will post a picture of it on our blog so you guys can see what this beautiful bird looks like. But it's really interesting because it's not just about the bird. It actually is kind of symbolic, taking like a more like serious tone here. It's more symbolic because there's been a lot of deforestation in Australia, and the black-throated finch has kind of become like the symbol for conservationists.
Interesting.
So, like, people voting for this bird is kind of like symbolic for people being like, hey, we should not fucking cut down trees. Maybe we would like to breathe.
Just maybe.
Maybe.
Not sure, but maybe.
But it's just really interesting how this bird kind of became like a figurehead for a movement and like a stupid like Twitter poll for Australia's bird of the year.
Yeah. I think sometimes Twitter, when people want to be, can be really good at starting like movements and things that actually need to get done. But Twitter's also just like gold for random shit.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. Let's go Australia. I haven't been there. Maybe one day I'll go.
One day. In the distant future.
So, moving on. It's time for our hit list of the week.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So, I said earlier that both Julia and I lived in Arizona, and now Julia lives in Arizona. And along with the A's of this list. Okay, so there's 50 states in America. 4 of them start with the letter A. That's Alaska, Arkansas, Alabama, and Arizona. Now, this list that I'm going to talk about has 3 of the 4 A's, A states on it. Not including Arizona.
I'm so Julia, fucking afraid of what this list is.
What list do you think I'm going to talk about? Do you know it all?
A list of states that no one wants to go to.
Yep, the top 10 worst states. Yep, exactly.
Oh my god.
Which Arizona's not listed in, which
Thank
I will
God.
say.
You know?
Yeah, being in Arizona, are there flaws? Yes.
Yes. It's fucking hot.
Too hot?
It's hot
as
hell.
Is it too hot? Yes. But to live in, I think it's a great state. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of pluses to it, and I'm really glad that it's not on this list. But Julia, I'm going to tell you the top 10 worst states.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with number 10. Number 10 is Pennsylvania.
No, I like Pennsylvania.
I do too. I think sometimes they're a little bit crazy, but I would say overall it's a pretty like charming state.
Except that there's this one bitch on 90 Day Fiancé, and she's like the worst, and she's from Pennsylvania. So I guess I kind of get it.
Can we hold the entire state though?
Yes, the entire state's responsible.
I'm gonna say that Pennsylvania does not deserve to be on this top 10 worst states. I'm going to say it's not on the top 10 best. I don't think it deserves its spot at number 40.
It has that one very large flaw in this woman that lives there. But other than that, it's a pretty cool state.
Okay, moving on. Number 9, or 41, would be South Carolina.
I find it interesting that... I'm not going to go into like the history of this, but I find it interesting that South Carolina's on the list. Because they have historically been the worst state. They are the worst state. They are assholes.
They're assholes, but it's a pretty state. Like, if Charleston, a charming town.
A oh my god. I can't. I'm not going to touch that. Okay.
Again, I don't think it should be on the top 10 worst.
I think it should be.
As much.
I think it should be number 1.
Oh, okay. I definitely don't.
I have a grudge.
Number 8, I'm going to see if you can get it just by getting it. It's in Tornado Alley.
Arkansas?
No,
I don't know what
on the
Tornado
list because it's one of
Alley
the A's. You don't?
No.
That was like, okay. Tornado Alley is the like middle part of the United States. It does include Arkansas, but it is the middle part, like west of the Mississippi River, where all the tornadoes happen. So basically the Dakota's down.
I'm trying to picture a map of the United States.
See, it's so ingrained in my head, like what the United States look like, that I got in a fight with one of my friends, like in middle school, because they were like, Wisconsin borders Canada. And I was like, no, it doesn't. I go, Michigan's above Wisconsin. And they were like, they thought I was crazy. And I'm right. Wisconsin does not border Canada.
Wait, does a lake separate it or something?
No, it's too low.
What?
Like, you know, the top of Wisconsin actually is in the middle of Minnesota, and above Wisconsin is all Michigan.
I'm
So
being
it doesn't
educated.
border Canada at all. So I think it's crazy. Like, a lot of people don't know that Wisconsin doesn't touch because they think that Wisconsin's at that tip, but really there's that weird part of Michigan above Wisconsin.
Fascinating.
There's your geography lesson
Thank you.
via Mallory. But so
Okay, tell me
to
what
go back
eight is.
to Tornado, yeah,
Tell
to go
me
back
what-
to Tornado Alley. Number 8 is Oklahoma, which I agree with.
Sure. I don't have a strong enough opinion.
Number 7 is Alaska.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
I guess I heard it's really pretty. I've never been. I heard it's really pretty. But it is kind of like bumfuck nowhere.
But it's so pretty. I mean, it's our biggest state. It's gosh darn beautiful.
Gosh darn.
It's gosh darn. It's its own place, you know? Like, it's not even the United States. It feels like its own country when you go. It's absolutely stunning.
And you can see Russia from there.
And you can see Russia from your backyard. Exactly. And here's the weird thing. You know, because Hawaii and Alaska kind of like operate as these separate states. And Hawaii isn't on the top 10 worst or the top 10 best.
So it's just like mediocre.
Yeah, which
I would
don't
think
is the
Hawaii would
case.
be in the top 10 best. I would think it has
That's
to
what
be.
I think. I think it has to. It's a tropical island. It's beautiful. Or if you have really strong feelings against it, then it's on your top 10 worst. But I couldn't see Hawaii as like someone's number 30 pick. Number 6, you already said it. It's Arkansas. Makes sense. Not a lot in Arkansas.
No.
Tornadoes.
Arkansas.
Next is number 5 is New Mexico. This is our first West Coast state.
Wasn't High School Musical based in New Mexico?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So that's the single reason it shouldn't be on the list. If she was
100%.
cultured at all, she'd understand the cultural significance of New Mexico.
Exactly. Plus, Breaking Bad was in New Mexico. I really liked it. They have a lot of films that are in New Mexico. Nature, I think, is really unique. Like, it's different from Arizona Southwest. I think I'm mad about this.
You think you're mad about it?
I think I'm mad about this because I don't think that this is the 45th worst state in the United States. Okay, moving on. I understand why it's here.
You sound
it'd
really
probably
upset
be-
already.
No, like, I understand why it's here, and I honestly wish that it would be higher, as in worse. It's West Virginia.
It has that song.
It does have that song, but what else does it have? You know? Nothing.
Meth addicts.
Ooh, coming in strong. I guess, like, it is very pretty, but it's nothing different from other states that I've seen in that area.
Listen, Mallory, you keep talking about the beautiful nature of these states, but you're not thinking about the quality of...
Oh, no, you're right. I know what you're saying. And I still think this should be, like, number 3 on the list.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a sad state.
It is. Okay, number 3 is Mississippi.
Yeah. And that's all I'm going to say, yeah.
Number 2 is Alabama, which I think should be number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not like Alabama.
No.
I mean, it has all that, like, those incest memes and... which, like, obviously
and
is
racism?
not the case. But, yeah, it's just very, like... I also don't think it's that pretty of a state. I'm sorry, but...
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but I have to add that aspect in there. And just, like, if we're going to compare it to other states, I just don't think it's as pretty, and it's weird. I think it should be number 1, and I'm mad that it's number 2.
Yeah, me too.
What do you think, Julia, is the number 1 worst state in the entire United States?
I'm judging by this list. It seems like she's doing it based on, like, the people.
Yeah, which I think is accurate. I think that's the number 1 way you should judge a state.
So I'm going to say number 1, she said, is Florida.
No. So Florida actually is not on the number 10 best or worst.
Another mediocre state.
Number 1 is in the South. Do you want another go at it? And I'm surprised by this one.
Georgia?
No.
Okay, then
No. Number 1 is Louisiana.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
does anyone have, like, a strong opinion on Louisiana? Like, actually?
Yeah. New Orleans is such a unique city with such, like, an amazing culture behind it that really has transformed that part of the country. Like, how could you say that's the worst? They have Cajun, beignets, just like a lot of culture, Mardi Gras, French Quarter. I mean, it's like cool city, and that's only one part of it. And
I was thinking about the rest of the state.
Okay, yeah. So the rest of the state, but here's my thing: does Alabama have any cool cities like New Orleans in it? No. So why is Alabama number 2 and Louisiana number 1?
Maybe she got, like, mugged in Louisiana.
Yeah, like, maybe she had a bad experience and she just made this, like, vendetta post
like,
against it.
Her sister married a guy from Louisiana and she, like, hates her
brother-in-law.
brother-in-law.
And they, like, hate him?
Yeah. But it's coming up with the story of this woman's life.
We don't know who she is, but we're pretty sure she had a bad experience in Louisiana.
Because it's like, I mean, maybe I don't have, no. I don't understand why you would have such strong feelings about Louisiana. Yes, New Orleans is cool, but, like, I feel like feeling passionately one way or the other about Louisiana is kind of strange. Like, it has to be a personal vendetta.
Yeah, it's all very interesting. Again, I thought it was really interesting as we're talking about A's, how 3 of the A states out of 4 managed to be on this top 10 worst list.
Arizona is the superior state.
Arizona's a superior A state. Good for us. And that's this week's hit list. So, wow. Julia, take it away.
Great job, Mallory. Very cool.
Thank you. Very cool.
Okay, so our main topic for this week is aliens. And aliens obviously exist.
100%.
They obviously exist. I mean, really, think about it. Aliens exist, okay? Why do they keep coming back to Earth?
I feel like I was just talking about this with someone, and I was like, maybe it was you. I don't know.
I think it probably was us.
I go like the United States, or just like Earth in general, is like so stupid. Like oh, you know what? Because we were talking about planets earlier this week, and we go, because we said that, like, on Uranus, it rains diamonds, right? Or was that
no?
Neptune?
That's Neptune, because Neptune's the superior planet.
Uranus was the one that was tilted, which was cool. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you choose here? Like, we have the largest ball of twine, sure, but past that, I don't know why you would, like, want to come to Earth.
Maybe it's like their version of a reality show. They, like, come to watch the shit go down. Maybe it's their version of, like, like Florida. You know, like, you go to Florida to see, like, what's actually happening down there. You're like, do people actually get eaten by alligators? I'm so curious. Yeah, I feel like
Florida.
For some reason, I just thought of Phil of the Future.
That has nothing to do with aliens, but okay.
I know, but like how they went back, like they were on like a time travel vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe aliens like they went travel from planet to planet, like just being tourists.
I could so see it. No, like that does make sense. Like they were curious, like, oh, we heard so much about this century and how freaking whack it is. Let us go. I mean, imagine someone being like a time traveler and they're like, I'm gonna go see this because I heard that like it was shitty. Like, who was their president? Let's go see that in person. You know?
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. I feel like that has to be the reason. Because they must watch and be like, what the actual fuck? Like, what is going on down there?
I'm sure they're confused. They're as confused as we are, but at the same time, it like makes me very envious because like aliens have the technology to just go wherever the hell they want, and we're stuck here.
Yeah, It's like,
and I don't think in our lifetime we'll go to Mars, but I'm also like not too thrilled to go to Mars, even if I did have the option, you know?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
What does that have that, like, Earth is bad, but Mars, it's red.
Yeah.
That's like its defining quality.
I know, yeah. And maybe there's an alien on the other side of Mars that can't be caught by the rover. Like, that's the interesting thing about Mars.
It's too fast for the rover.
There's just an alien fucking running around on Mars. Just outrunning,
trying to get me.
Just outrunning the rover. What do aliens look like, Mallory? What do you think they look like?
I think it's a mix of different like life forms. I want to say though, like, where does the the standard like green, wide-eyed alien, like, doesn't that have to come from someone, right?
Didn't it come from Roswell?
I'm sure it did, but like someone had to think of it, right? Or see it, like. Why is the normal color for aliens green? Why do they have wide eyes? I don't know.
Don't they have wide eyes so they can see in the sun because they don't have an ozone layer to protect them?
I don't know.
Or they can see in the dark. Maybe it's the reverse. Maybe so they can see in the darkness because they live on Neptune.
Maybe. Only Neptune produces aliens.
That's why they can build flying saucers, because they're freaking rich. They're so rich.
They have all those diamonds, yeah. I don't know if there's I think there's multiple aliens out there, so I think there's different species of them. I wouldn't say there's a set, alien look to it, but part of me gets freaked out if, they were humans. Like, human looking.
Why not?
That's
maybe,
freaky,
aliens are, what if aliens were actually humans from the future? What about that?
Maybe. But then, I guess, because I guess humans in the future would figure out how to get off this planet.
They would probably fucking destroy this planet.
Why would you destroy it? It'd probably be like WALL-E, where everyone leaves, floats
No,
around,
I mean, that's what I mean. Not,
back.
Destroyed, as in blew up the planet. I meant, destroyed as in trashed
that's where I was going. Oh, yeah. Like environmental destroy,
yeah.
Not like kaboom.
Not like Big Bang kaboom.
Although, why not?
Just throwing it out there. Why don't we just
if you had the power to, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
So okay. You have to pick one for me though, and I agree with you that there's probably multiple alien species. What do you think is the main one that keeps coming back to Earth?
I'm gonna say it's a dad bod alien.
A dad bod alien?
Yeah, a dad bod, thick alien who wants to show his kids the solar system.
Aww, that's so wholesome,
isn't it? I think it's human looking. I couldn't imagine an alien species being a blob or something. I think it has to, I don't know, it has to mimic us sort of, because how could a fish, we're just talking about fish, how could a fish control a spaceship? And I'm sure that they have the technology where they could, but I don't see how that's feasible. You would have to have hands, I would feel, unless maybe they have mind controlling powers. That gets into a lot of what ifs though. So I'm gonna stick with it's a human-ish
dad bod
figure, a dad bod humanish figure with its wife alien and its two kids.
Wow. So they have a nuclear family.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely, when I think alien, I think nuclear family for sure.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, 100%. I don't know. I just feel I feel aliens are still very family orientated.
So they just have a really wholesome society where they care about their kids.
Yeah.
And they take their kids on family vacations to Earth.
Totally. Are aliens, have they ever been mean to anyone? They do some weird things, but I don't think they've been mean to anyone. And if they kidnap anyone, I'm sure it's because they needed to ask for directions.
And just drop them back in the wrong place. I mean, I don't know enough about abductions to, like, know if anything sinister happened. But, like, I haven't heard of anything, like, that was like, oh, I was abducted and they tried to kill me. It was like, I was abducted and they, like, poked at me for a while.
like, they, like, probed my orb.
They probed my orb.
I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
But
it sounds like a porn.
Yeah, it does. But it doesn't sound, like, bad.
Sounds very uncomfortable.
But it's not like, oh, they killed me. I mean, we wouldn't hear from those people, but I haven't heard any, like, missing via well, I guess we wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if someone's missing via alien, we wouldn't have known. Like, we would have never heard about it.
That's true. So, okay. I have to know, what's the most convincing evidence you found that aliens exist? Like, what convinced you that they exist?
Okay, so there's a lot of stories. I think the Phoenix Lights story of aliens is very convincing because of the amount of accounts that it got. It was traveling, and based on people's accounts from northern Arizona to Phoenix, and also a little bit of Tucson, like, it's so widely known in that state that I think it's pretty true from that. I also have a story from my mom and my aunt who is difficult to believe that it's true, but they had a story that they, like, heard weird noises, and then they like looked out the window and there was these 3 orbs that were shining. One was gold, one was silver, and one was bronze. And they were, like, hovering in the front lawn, like, shining. And I go, I don't know what that's about. But
that's crazy.
I go, that's
like insane.
Yeah, that's, like, really weird. My mom is also the person to be like, oh yeah, we found, like, gold coins in our backyard too, but doesn't have proof of them. So I don't know how much I could believe of that story. I want to believe it, but I definitely think Phoenix Lights there's so many people who talked about it that I think it's true.
I was going to say the same thing, actually, like, just UFOs in general. Like, there's so many people that have seen, like, weird-ass things in the sky. I've seen weird-ass things in the sky. I swear to God I've seen a UFO.
In Phoenix?
In Vegas.
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Vegas is difficult because of Area 51. Not to say that, you know, all UFOs are just, like, military aircrafts, but, I mean, they do test aircrafts out. Yeah. But some of them are definitely things that, like, I don't think the military could have access to, maybe. I just don't think the military is, like, that advanced.
Yeah, like...
I mean, maybe they are, but...
If they are, that'd be... I mean, if anyone is, they are.
Isn't that kind of scary?
Yeah, that's kind of scary. I don't really want to think about that.
I feel like wars wouldn't happen if we had that technology. I mean, that's, I guess, a weird and kind of ignorant stance on it, but at the same time, like, if we had the technology, then I don't know why it would take so long for certain things to happen. If we had that technology, if they're suggesting that we do. But that's, like, its own other... Its whole other story. Yeah.
I mean, just quickly, I'll just say that I don't know that I totally agree with that, because I feel like a lot of that stuff is, like, if shit really hits the fan, they'll, like, pull all that stuff out and be like, look what we have. And you'll be like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess.
But, I mean, I do agree with you, though, because in Vegas, at my elementary school, there was a lot of weird aircraft that flew over my elementary school. For real. Like, because the Air Force was, like, testing stuff out. Because Nellis Air Force Base is right there, too.
It's true. Yeah, it is right there.
I remember very distinctly that this thing that I saw, like, hovered for a while and then, like, shot up into the sky. Like, in a second.
Ooh. Yeah, that's an alien.
It was, like, insane. But, I mean, I think seeing that is maybe the moment where I was like, yeah, aliens are real. Because I was like, how can you... I didn't know how to explain it. Like, you could be like, yeah, it's an Air Force thing, but, like, how do Air Force things shoot up into space instantaneously?
I definitely go with, like, how could they not? Like, it just wouldn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
For it not to exist.
Exactly. Like, there has to be other life out there. I feel like there has to be. The universe is so big.
And yeah, we'll figure it out one day.
One day an alien will come down and be like, hey guys, what's up?
I'm hoping.
He'll text you at midnight, come over.
You up?
You
Question
up?
mark.
Aliens are just fuckboys. That'd be incredible.
I feel like that's like the second species. If you aren't a dad bod alien, you're a fuckboy
You're a
alien.
fuckboy alien. You up? Come get on my alien
You
spacecraft.
Eggplant emoji. I guess it'd be like a zucchini emoji.
Eggplant emoji, water droplets. Oh my god.
I'm sure they know what it is.
I wanted to share, since we were talking about aliens, my favorite alien conspiracy theory. And then I want to hear if you have one too. But my favorite alien conspiracy theory is so stupid that it's actually amazing. It's the hollow moon theory. And I think I've told you about this before.
Oh, well, that's my favorite one too.
Oh, good. We can talk about it.
Okay, just share yours. Yeah, just share
Okay,
yours.
so hollow moon theory is the theory that the moon is hollow. And it's actually like an alien spacecraft, and like a bunch of aliens live inside of it. And the reason that people believe in this is because literally the only evidence that I found that they point to is that some astronauts landed on the moon and were like, it rung like a bell, like it was hollow when they landed.
Hollow moon.
Yeah.
Hollow moon.
But it's my favorite because it's so out there. It's like so ridiculous.
It is, but not a lot of people can actually, like, how could you prove that it's not?
That's true. I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Without going up there? Yeah. I think that's what the best conspiracies are, is like, I know that they're saying all these things about orbiting, but, and like science,
and
but
the tides.
how do we know?
Yeah, I mean.
And the tides, yeah, but.
I mean, it's not that the moon isn't real, it's just that it's a spaceship.
Exactly.
So.
I definitely, I'm a proud believer of the hollow moon theory. I would love to go. I would love to, be in that group and,
be in that group.
be on spaceship moon. That would be fun.
What do you think the moon's called for the aliens?
Oh, like the people who live there?
Yeah, like what is it? It has to be like the spaceship something. Or whatever the equivalent.
I think it's moon.
Spaceship moon.
I think it's moon. Yeah, spaceship moon.
I respect aliens.
Look, I do have a lot of respect for having an entire civilization, like, inside a moon. A lot of respect to it. But do we think that they're aliens, or do we think that they're humans?
No, I don't think humans are living inside of the moon.
No, but you think, like, dad bod, fuckboy aliens are living inside
Yeah,
the moon.
sure, why not?
Okay.
What if the moon was real, but they just drilled a giant hole into it, and now it's hollow?
I think there's arguments that explain why the moon is actually, like, hollow, quote unquote. I'm just gonna commit to that it was never a rock. The entire thing is built out of metal, and it started to orbit our sun.
Okay, a purist. A purist.
A purist.
Got it.
I don't like to think that someone came to the moon and transformed it. I like to think that the moon existed somewhere else, and it came to us.
Just showed up one day. That's incredible. I love that. That means at one point there was not a moon, which is even crazier to think about.
Yeah. I mean, how do we have evidence? We don't have any photo evidence. Try to tell me I'm wrong.
Try to tell me I'm wrong. Comment down below why we're wrong.
Try to tell me below why you think I'm wrong, even though I'm not. But...
I just love the idea that there was no moon for, like, it's a part of human history. Because...
No one needed it. They didn't want it. Okay, so... Now it's here and people are like, oh, I guess. But, like, you can't even get it in a photo,
That's true.
Really,
that's very suspicious. Have you ever tried to take a picture
Isn't
of the
it?
moon?
Like, you have to have a really, really nice camera to get photo evidence of the moon. Otherwise, it just looks like someone took a pole
Oh my god.
What is it? A hole punctured to the sky. If you look at a photo, not a pole.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think that's maybe a sign that we should wrap it up for poor Mallory, who can no longer speak. But Mallory, would you like to give our alien listeners a message? Because I'm sure we have some. Eventually.
Oh yeah, for alien listeners, like, thank you. If you're a part of like Hollow Moon, I would love to be considered. For aliens who are on Hollow Moon, for other aliens, what's up? I'm glad that you come. Boost our economy.
No, thank you. Thank you for supporting us.
They do.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You have many other human podcasts to listen to. You chose our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Which is very flattering.
I'm sure they're on like true crime podcasts all the time.
They're always listening to My Favorite Murder. Yeah, thank you. Please let us come visit your Hollow Moon.
For people who are humans who are listening, thanks for listening too. That's our first podcast. We'll be back next week for the letter B. Yeah, so you can follow our social medias at Julia.
The Alpha B Podcast, because they won't let me put bitches in a social media handle, which is stupid.
It's a shame. Yeah. It really is a shame. And if you're interested in anything that we talked about, we'll post most of the articles or things that we talked about on our blog if you are interested in reading anything or looking at any of the lists that we talked about. And that's pretty much it for me. So I'm gonna say a bye.
Yeah. And feel free. I haven't told you, Mallory, but we have an email. We have an Alpha B Podcast email that you can email if you have suggestions for either our hit list or our main topic. But yeah, please feel free to email us. I will be paying attention, I promise.
Yeah. Wait, that's cool. I didn't even know.
Wow.
There you go. Learn something new every day. Okay. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye-bye.